My name is Sly Augustin, and I'm the owner of Trailer Happiness, a cocktail bar in Notting Hill, West London. You know, it's quite a unique bar in the sense that it's a little bit dive bar, it's a little bit high-end bar, it's a little bit club bar. It's just that perfect mix that means that absolutely everybody can enjoy themselves here and everybody's welcome. The story of how I came to own Trailer Happiness. This bar was one of the first places that I came to, one of the first bars where I felt valuable. And I was just having a drink as a customer, and one of the bartenders just asked me a question, and the question was, do I know anybody who would buy Trailer Happiness? That was the question that kind of set me off on this journey. And in the space of 10 days, I was a bar owner. I think about it now and it's madness. It's chaos, but it makes, you know, having understood this bar, it's the kind of chaos that makes sense. I think that there are pluses and minuses to taking over an established business. One of the pluses is obviously a lot of the work, the groundwork has been done. There are things in place that you don't have to think about, they're already there. The downside is you don't understand why anything's there, and you don't understand if it needs to be there. Can I change it? Like if I move that brick, does the whole thing collapse? It took me quite a bit of time to really understand what are the key elements that make Trailer, and what are the things that are interchangeable and not that important. But when COVID happened, it was a real kind of awakening, I think, and a real realization of exactly what my position and what my responsibility is for this business. And I thought I learned valuable lessons, but the lessons had just begun because obviously, you know, a year later, the whole bar flooded. And I think beyond a shadow of a doubt, having to build a bar back from scratch left me in no doubt that this was my bar, you know. So as devastating as it was also an opportunity to really just do things the way that I want to do them, the way that I felt they needed to be done. Again, I was lucky in the sense that while I didn't have material wealth to fall back on, I did have the industry. And when we were going through really, really rough patches, I was able to talk to a brand and be like, hey, got any miscellaneous stock lying around? But there are people in this industry who literally kept Trailer Happiness open. The truth about failure is it is generally only failure if you don't use it. If you fail and you stop, then that's failure because you've landed in failure and you decided this is where you're gonna live. But if you keep moving, it's one step forward, and now failure's in the background. And whatever this is, it might not be success yet, but it's not failure anymore because you've moved forward. As long as you keep doing that, every single failure that you have will become a resource. I speak about failure and it's necessary, but I also have to understand and take point that it is a luxury. It is, not everybody can afford to do it as freely as others can. Having said that, you don't know until you try. And you'd be surprised at what you can achieve with no money, just utilizing the resources that you have and utilizing the network, whether it's friends, family, industry, whatever. Yeah, man. People want you to win as long as you're not a prick. Great thing about my journey as a bar owner is just the amount of mistakes that I've made. I understand where all the edges are because I've been to every corner, you know, positive, negative, wasteful, bad choices, good choices. I can speak quite well on the pitfalls that are inevitable. The main things that you need, I would say, is partnership. You need somebody to grow with. For me, I've had the benefit of working with some incredibly talented bartenders, but ultimately, I've never really had a strong partnership. And so I've had to rely and lean on my friends in the industry. You'll need that partnership because again, you can get lost in the minutia. When you own a bar, there's so many small things happening all the time that you could lose. It's very easy to lose perspective and to miss really important things because there are going to be a lot of moments that are going to require you to step back. And if you are unable to because you're constantly in service, it's going to make everything super, super difficult. One of the things you need to understand is the minute you own a bar, you owe at least 15 people money. You know, like you just immediately owe money to all sorts of industries and bodies of government that you didn't even know existed. The drinks, the cocktail menu, the pouring deals, you know, these are just one small element of it. Your staff, your team, incredibly important. Hire people based on personality and ambition. Experience is great, you need it, but also you really want to try and find people who are electric, who are energetic, who bring energy. You know, a bar is a living organism. You know, it's alive and you need to nourish it with energy, and your team are the lifeblood of your bar. So definitely look to build a team that offers you something that you don't currently have. If you're gonna own a bar, you need to understand every aspect of it. You don't need to do it all, but you need to have at least a cursory understanding of every single aspect of your business. Accounts, law, you know, health and safety, licensing, and then you can understand how to delegate these tasks. Good accountant will save you so much pain, like will literally save you money, but it will also save you money in time. You know, and the fact that you don't have to tear your hair out doing a job badly, you know? These guys are stomping. Let me just call Steve real quick, one sec. Hey Steve, sorry man. Could you just give me like just 15 minutes? Yeah, I can just hear people stomping around. Yeah? All right, no worries, thanks. Yeah, there you go, the bloopers and all that. Our next project is a whole development on the ground floor. So you will hear builders stomping around from time to time. I mean, in all honesty, I'm still learning the business side of it. For instance, for the longest time, this bar capacity of 110 people. Your brain says you want 110 people here if you can, as much as you can, right? Because people equal money. But what we found during COVID was actually that's not the case. What you want is a certain number of people that you can still provide your best version of service to. You provide the best version of service to less people, those people will stay longer, they'll buy more drinks. You end up making the same, if not more money, with less people, and those people have a better time and they come back. As a bar owner, success is being open. You know, the fact that I can come and open those doors and trade and serve feels like success. We can fix, we can improve all other aspects as long as we're open, as long as we're still trading. So to anybody wanting to start their own business, their own brand, their own bar, I'd absolutely say do it, 100%. And not because I think everybody will succeed, but because you will learn so much about yourself, because you might try it and go, actually, I absolutely hate this, you know, but that's a better scenario than always wondering what if. Go over there, try that thing, and hopefully you're successful and hopefully you like it. And if you don't, well, you can just chalk that one off and go and look at the next thing. The one thing that I wish I knew someone had told me before I bought the bar, right? I think the one thing would probably be to relax a little bit, you know, and to be aware of the small stuff and correct it, but don't freak out because there's so many more disappointments to come. You know, when I bought this bar and I spent all of my, you know, life savings, I didn't calculate all of the additional costs, solicitors fees and this fees and everything else. And the week before opening, you know, it was like, okay, great. Now, where's the stock? And all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's right. A bar needs stock, right? But we found it, we figured it out. You know, I got another small loan and we did that thing. I didn't wait, I made mistakes and it honestly, best decision I ever made.